fry up a nice white fish for supper. Or a pipe.
Hello everyone, this is Bob and Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3. So as you might recall from the last video, I did not just leave that old woman with her pan, talking about frying up a fish. I left after going west and killing a bunch of neckers in order to boost my sword power. Unfortunately, I also ran into some recording issues after that, and as such, I will need to load from a different save.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead.
Alright, so from this save point, I have gone and killed the neckers, and now I am looking for the hunter who is not at home.
Trail's fresh. Mislav just left home.
And looks like we can follow his footprints. They seem clear enough on the trail here. Yep, there they are. We can just see them against the soil, and oh, there he is.
You, Mislav?
Hear that?
Wolves? No. Wild dogs.
Yes. More dangerous than wolves.
Dogs more dangerous than wolves? Don't think so.
It's the truth. Know why?
No, but I guess you're about to tell me.
Wolves hunt to fill their bellies. Wild dogs kill for sport.
Just like humans.
Aye. They've learned much from us. Why not cruelty too?
I'm hunting bigger game. The Nilfgaardians the Griffin killed. Where'd you find them?
Ah, I see. You a witcher. That monster slayer they's talking about in the village.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you, sure. But, I gotta kill those mutts before they hurt someone. Will you help? That is, if you don't mind blunting your silver blades on them.
Sure. Griffin's not going anywhere.
No. Dogs might, though. So step careful now. Come on.
These dogs been a problem for a while now?
Since the war started. Soldier on the march. He'll stop to rape a woman, strangle her, kill her man for a chuckle, even butcher a cow. But a dog, a kick in passing, no more. So these stray mutts form packs. They're gaunt, guts stuck to their spines, covered in scabies, but they just won't die, 'cause they're clever. More so than foxes. And they hate men something fierce.
Gotta be careful about talking to Mislav.
Too late. Attacked another one.
Mislav also has that backwards belt that I was describing before. Well, that was relatively painless. Oh, and they've got dog tallow. You know, in the first game, dog tallow was hard to get. You could only get it from dogs, and dogs were well behaved in that game.
Dieter.
You know him?
We served at the Lord's Manor together, where the Black Army's encamped now. He was a stable hand, I was the Lord's hunter. But that was before... well, a long time ago.
Before what?
Before they drove me from the village.
What did you do?
Nothing. I'm a freak. Sorry. I'd rather not talk about it.
I'm a freak too.
Aye, but of another kind.
If it's lycanthropy, I can help.
What?
Lycanthropy. Werewolves. Handled a few cases in the past. It's usually a simple curse that...
The Lord's son, Florian, and I We loved each other. Dieter walked in on us in the stables. They drove me away. Florian hanged himself. Lord started drinking, and the estate fell into ruin. That's the long and short of it.
Well, shit.
I'm sorry.
Ancient history now. I was to show you where I found the Nilfgaardians. Come.
Griffin, know anything about it?
Not much. It's not my kind of game.
You're his kind, though. Survival instincts alone ought to make you care.
I walk silent through the woods. No griffin can hear me nor spy me.
Well, good for you. But I don't think griffins hunt by hearing. They do kind of fly. I mean, good color choices, though, with that in mind.
'Twas here. One lay there, by the stump, headless. The other hung from a branch, guts splayed, stretching down to... Watch out for yourself now.
I'll be fine. Not the first griffin I've dealt with. Not likely to be the last, either.
Hope you're right. Good hunting now.
Alright. Lot of blood left around here.
Good eye to you, good eye.
Nilfgaardians were celebrating. Griffin interrupted them. A camp.
Seems like it was more interested in killing than on taking prey.
Ground's black, saturated with blood.
Otherwise it would have just grabbed one and left.
These prints are older and deeper, heavily armored. Nilfgaardians, probably.
Alright, looks like they crossed the bridge here. Oh, and the footprints lead up this way. You can always tell when a rock is jumpable because it's got that sort of white crap on it. See?
Griffin's nest. What remains of it, at least. Corpse is a couple of weeks old. Still alive when the griffin brought him here. Took a long time dying.
And it's already dead. Curious.
Burned. Only a human could do this.
Oh, a few more bodies in here.
Female. Larvae in her wounds have already hatched. Been dead at least a week. Other griffin must be a male. Deep cuts over the whole body. Not a drop of blood on the beak or claws. Didn't defend herself. Crept up on her while she slept.
Probably for the best.
Beak tips worn. Gray hairs in the coat. 10, 12 years old. Griffins pair off for life when young. Male must be about the same age. Thick shaft, dense barbs. A royal griffin. Explains why the male I ran into was so aggressive. Hunted the Nilfgaardians down here in the forest first, then started prowling the area. Done all I could. Should talk to Vesemir. Bones. Horse, dog, human. A few months' worth.
So, yeah, it appears that the mistake the Nilfgaardians made was not in hunting the griffin. The griffin is a human eater. Has been so for some time. But rather their mistake was in not realizing that there would be two of them. And thus, while they celebrated the killing of one griffin, the other one showed up and murdered them.
Come on, Roach.
And yeah, I could use that signpost to fast travel, but I feel like taking the long way just to enjoy the environment a bit. Plus, it's not that far. We're already back at the village.
I think those plums are wreaking havoc on your gut.
A return custom.
Show me.
Alright, we got a whole ton of weapons to sell. And a couple of diagrams to buy. Now, the ones with the yellow background are not worth buying, because they are for weapons or armor that I am not going to use. Like I said before, I'm sticking exclusively to Witcher equipment as much as possible. And right now I am buying a whole bunch of expensive stuff out of the shop, because doing so will give the blacksmith enough money to buy all of the weapons and assorted crap that I currently have in my inventory. Speaking of which, I've got a couple things here. Don't need the key anymore, and a lot of quest items just sort of pop out of the quest section and into the miscellaneous section after you buy them. Or after you use them, and they are no longer necessary. Potion of Clearance, might as well hang on to that. Woven Hour, not really needed. But more to the point, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to sell. Not the Viper weapons, but everything else can go. Man, I got a lot of them. And not as good as my current crossbow. Crossbows are tied to your current attack power, by the way.
So long.
And so I can use the one that I had in the last game pretty much throughout the rest of this game.
It's Tavern now.
I'm still saying the same stuff as last time.
Whose field is that the other side of the river?
By the wood. Owen Clinics. Good lad, Master Witcher. Though he...
Yes, this boy. Will he venture out to inspect his grain anytime soon?
What for? Harvest is a long way off yet.
Wonder what that's about.
Yes? What is it, Wolf?
Got good news and bad news. Good news first. Captain of the Nilfgaardian garrison knows where Yennefer went.
And the bad's that we have to kill the griffin for him. What else could he want from two witchers? Go on. Tell me what you know.
Griffin's abandoned its lair. Gotta make a lure, set a trap.
And how's that going?
Learned some things. It's a male, had its nest in the Vulpine Woods. The Nilfgaardians burned the woods down, killed its mate, smashed their eggs. Thought they'd fixed things.
It's always the same. Instead of sending for a professional, they try to do it themselves, only end up making matters worse.
Got the buckthorn.
Ought to work like a charm. Powerful scent.
More like stench.
City boy. Rotting meat, manure, piss, standard smells of the countryside. Remember Tredegor? Hunting that Zoogle in the trash heap? You spent half the next day bathing, scrubbing yourself.
How can I forget? You ever gonna stop bringing that up?
Fine. If everything's ready, say the word and we'll get to work.
I'm ready. No point in waiting. Let's find a good spot to ambush it.
Picked one out already, other side of the stream. There's fields and a grove. Plenty of room and far enough so no one will get in our way.
Good. Meet you there.
Oh, so that's what he was talking about. He was making sure that the field's owner would not show up at a unfortunate time. Speaking of which, yeah, like Vesemir said, no point in waiting, so I'm just chasing right after him. Seems he's gone at full speed. And by the way, this is where Vesemir would give me the first crossbow of the game. But I already have a crossbow, so he's going to skip that part. Speaking of upgrades, looks like the Viper Sword is actually better than the one I have, the steel weapon I have. And yeah, while I'm here, I might as well buff the steel weapon. And let's see, I believe the griffin is a hybrid, so I'm putting that on the silver sword.
A stream, amber waves of grain. Charming place. Perfect for an ambush.
I know how to choose 'em. So, ready?
Let's start. Wind's good. Bait's scent will spread quickly.
Now all we have to do is wait. Come on. We can cower in the shade of those birches.
Uh-huh, they are birches.
So tell me, once we find Yennefer, what'll you do? Got your eye on a contract?
No. I'll go to Kaer Morhen.
Little early to settle in for the winter.
Snows are a way off, yes. And that's what worries me. Nilfgaard's crossed the Pontar in the east. Puts them maybe a week's march from Kaer Morhen. If they reach the valley before snows can cover the passes, well, we need to cover our tracks, hide our paths. Speaking of winter and wintering, think you'll come this year?
Maybe. Might bring a guest.
It's close.
Let's go give it a warm welcome.
Wait. Like this.
A crossbow.
Won it in a card game while you ran around. Might come in handy.
How about that? Always lectured us on the evils, but you're a gambler yourself.
Stop talking. Got a griffin to kill.
Alright, maybe what I'm remembering is that there is a tutorial on how to use the crossbow before the griffin shows up.
Watch out!
Because clearly we just got a crossbow from Vesemir. Gotta be careful with these guys.
Damn! It's fast!
And that is what the crossbow is most useful for. When you're not underwater, of course.
Don't let it get away!
Unfortunately, it has lost its red bar because we are forced to allow it to move to a second location because it's part of the story. And where we actually kill it is up here by the windmill. Oh, yeah, we got the hit.
It's about to dive!
So something to note is that you have an infinite number of normal crossbows. Infinite number of normal crossbow bolts. But you can also get special crossbow bolts that do additional damage or have additional effects.
Not bad. Not bad. Though you could stand to improve some things.
Of course.
For example?
Upward vertical strike. It's too obvious. But more on that later. Take the griffin's head to the black ones. I'll ready our horses. Meet me at the inn.
Pushy, aren't we? And yes, special targets like this griffin have a lot of stuff on them. mostly monster parts, but also special mutagens that can be used to get the decoctions, which I already have. But I'm going to be holding onto them anyway for reasons. And then a trophy, which also has special effects. You saw the one for the, yes, the one for the Ghost by the Well, the Moon Wraith. And the one for the Griffin gives you a 10% chance to dismember, which is a purely aesthetic difference. Plus, the active mutation I have, the DLC mutation, is one that gives me... well, it allows every final attack to dismember. Instead of there just being odds of dismemberment, all of them dismember. Although now that I think about it, I might still have the mutation, the crossbow mutation active instead. I want to look into that at some point. Anyway, don't need to worry about those wolves. Just blast right on past them. Watch them. My horse just wanders into the middle of a bunch of Nilfgaardians doing push-ups.
Is it true? Was there women paid once every 3 months?
What the hell is this?
Right.
You take me for a blind man or a fool? This grain is rotten.
I didn't know.
So, a fool. Damn it, you never learn. Military Codex, Article 2, Section 3. For the delivery of defective goods, 15 lashes with a knout. Make it so.
No, no, no! By the gods, no!
You can see by the fresh grains on top that this was an active deception.
What?
Maybe not by that guy, but by someone along the line.
Fulfilled my end of the bargain. Your turn. Where'd Yennefer go?
To Vizima.
She was a day's ride from here the whole time? Under my nose? Might have said so.
Yes, I might have. But you would not have killed the griffin. Tit for tat. Halt! We are not done. It's yours, this gold. I would not want you to say you were inadequately compensated.
Gold's gold. And if nothing else, more of it in my hands is less of it in his.
We have much work to do here. Quite.
It's not that you can't see where he is exactly, though.
Will someone explain to me why you are here?
And yeah, it's brutal, but at least in medieval terms it is justice. And yeah, either he was in on the deception, or he was a complete fool who did not inspect the grain that he brought over. And delivery of defective goods, by the sound of things, was the lesser punishment he could have been given for that situation. If he was actively deceiving the army, he would have been hanged.
We meet again.
Thank you for saving me. People say all kinds of things about witches, but I've always known yours to be an honorable guild.
So you managed to salvage some goods?
Yes, but I await the repair of my wagon. As time passes, my losses grow. Do you need something? I'll let it go half free.
Let me have a look at your stock.
Interesting way of putting it. Half free. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's selling anything we really need. Just a bunch of horse gear and a set of armor that... Temerian armor that we're not even the right level for.
Take care.
Not that we would use it anyway.
My gran told me about the Smith's boy. Lad went missing one day, so folk nabbed a witchman that was hunting nearby and started poking him arson. Started twisting and swirling,
Don't like the look of those bandits.
Yennefer's in Vizima. Got a few friends there, so... Something wrong?
Look around. Trouble brewing.
Who are they?
Patriots. Drinking their 7th round for Tamaria. Fist starting to itch.
Don't see any Nilfgaardians.
They'll find another foe. I'll buy some provisions for the journey. Then we'll go. Geralt, we should stay out of it. Just this once.
It would be nice if they let us.
What happened to the lilies?
Took him down.
Took them down to hang a golden sun there now.
I cannot show Temerian colours. They'll come and burn the tavern down.
Maybe it's true what they say. You fond of the Imperials? You Nilfgaard's whore?
I'll let that pass. I know grief eats at your heart.
You know shit. They hanged my sister, dragged her out the cloister like a dog. Said Nilfgaard's no place for superstition, that they don't fear the wrath of the gods. And you, do you fear it? If not for Annie, your child would have choked on its navel string. You owe your son to my sister attending to the birth, and you don't fear the gods' wrath. You don't fear it, you cunt! Leave me be!
Recognize this medallion? You know what it means. Back off.
You alright?
They say witches steal young'uns. That true? What'd the Emperor promise you, freaks? Your own land? Like he did the elves once?
Get out, all of you.
We ain't going nowhere. And neither are you.
They won't back down now.
I can see that.
I blame you, old man.
It's all right. It's over.
Leave me be! Get away!
See his face! God save us!
Be gone, and don't ever come back.
So much for not getting involved. Come on, let's go.
I still blame you, old man.
That brawl, we didn't start it.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Yen? How?
I received a report about a witcher who'd appeared in White Orchard. I knew it was you, looking for me. I might have waited until you found me, but... well, you know me. Patience has never been my strong suit. It's... good to see you, Geralt. I'd even embrace you. Were you not covered in blood?
Sorry. Wasn't expecting to see you. To be honest, this isn't at all how I imagined we'd meet.
How did you imagine it?
You didn't imagine you'd have a Nilfgaardian escort. Don't get me wrong, Yennefer. I'm glad to see you. But I do think you owe us an explanation.
And I shall provide it. In Vizima. Ready your horses.
Spent the last 6 months in the saddle. Haven't seen you for 2 years. Can't we take a moment to...
Sadly, we cannot.
Someone awaits you, Geralt. Someone who doesn't like to be kept waiting. Emperor Emir var Emrys, or to those on more intimate terms with him, the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes.
Doubt I number among that group. For as I remember, last time we saw each other, he wanted to kill me.
Well, now he wishes to make you an offer.
The kind one can't refuse?
I didn't, though I could have.
Must have been a damn good offer then. Not many things you'd give up your freedom for, and even fewer people.
The sooner we set off, the sooner you'll find out.
What about you?
I'm going in the opposite direction. I somehow doubt the Emperor's invitation mentioned me. Besides, I've got things to do at Kaer Morhen, remember?
Yeah, I remember. Thanks for your help, Vesemir. See you soon.
How's your horse? Swift?
Can't complain. Why do you ask?
I'd like to be back behind some thick city walls as soon as possible.
You know, I had a dream about you recently.
Knowing you, it was probably filthy.
Just the beginning. But then...
But then?
Man, heavy infantry catching up to light cavalry. Those must be some horses. By the way, that is the Wild Hunts theme we're hearing.
We'll talk of this tomorrow, all right? After the audience.
This bard's tale begins near White Orchard, with my dear friend Geralt of Rivia seeking his lover of yore, the sorceress Yennefer. She'd eluded him for years, but now seemed just a few steps ahead. After many trials and tribulations, Geralt finally learned that Yen was in nearby Vizima.
It must suffice.
Thinkamere cares if I'm clean.
The gentleman will refer to His Imperial Majesty by his full title or not at all. The gentleman will be seated on the bergère.
The what now?
In that chair. Catwin, please shave the gentleman's sideburns to half an inch.
What's wrong with my beard? Always thought it added to my dignity.
It does. yet it also detracts from your elegance. In Nilfgaard, we consider beards hard on the eyes, especially beards infested with lice.
Been on the road a while. Fine, do your thing.
Tilt your head back, please, and sit still.
How goes it? Preparations for the audience proceeding as planned?
Yes, General. The gentleman will be more or less presentable.
Who's this guy? He a barber too?
No. Morvran Voris, commander of the Albert Division. Yennefer's escort. They were my men, all of them. Indeed, were, for none have returned to Vizir, have they? I truly wonder what happened on the road yesterday. Perhaps you could enlighten me. You have time, and a razor to your throat.
Wild Hunt killed them.
A cavalcade of wraiths dashing across the night sky. These omens of war the peasantry bubbles about. Expect me to believe that.
Frankly, I don't really give a damn.
Nordlings. We can bathe you, shave you, and clothe you, but teaching you manners, that will be a challenge.
Nice meeting you too.
Done. Shall I shave him once more, against the grain?
No. He himself is very much against the grain. That's enough. Farewell, Witcher. Or rather, see you soon.
Good. Now the gentleman may dress.
Thanks for the shave.
Sadly, I did not receive exact measurements. If the garments chafe, our tailor will adjust them.
Black, black, or black?
We do not like garish colors in Nilfgaard. The gentleman will tell me once he has chosen an outfit.
Alright, what do we got here? Slightly different cuts from each other. The left and the right one look pretty much identical. I think this one has stripes. Yeah, this one doesn't. Maybe simple is best. And I get dressed by just equipping it like armor, as you do.
Black suits the gentleman. Does the outfit satisfy the gentleman?
A studded doublet and a sword on my back, that's what would satisfy me. But tough, when in Nilfgaard.
Yes?
It's a saying. So what now? Powder my nose?
No need. The gentleman's complexion is light enough. The gentleman is to stand before the ruler of the North and South. I must confirm that he knows how to bow.
Confirm away.
Please watch. Leg extended, hand flat, head down, chin to chest. The gentleman will rehearse.
So that was left leg forward. So I think that's number 2.
Lacking fluidity and grace. But we've learned to expect less of Nordlings. Come with me. The gentleman will address the Emperor only when asked to, and using the appropriate type.
Your arch-magnificency?
I see the gentleman is in the mood for jests. I fear the Emperor might not share his disposition. Your Majesty will suffice. Spoken loudly, clearly, and with respect. Im grimi eb art kerzer. Duifen aden in karn eb marvut. Emir var emreis.
Bow.
No.
Your Imperial Majesty.
Arer ep the orde.
Weljen namen, wat gern favort.
He is the villain of a large part of the books.
So many months at Foltest Court. Yet you still haven't mastered the basics of etiquette.
Know what they say? Can't teach an old wolf new tricks. Take it you didn't summon me to reminisce about the good old days, so...
Silence. My daughter Cirilla, she's returned. And she's in danger. The Wild Hunt pursues her. You will find her and bring her to me.
Are you sure? Ciri left. Went far, far away.
Do you believe I drag you here in the middle of a war to discuss a rumor?
I think anyone can be wrong, even an emperor.
I had forgotten how insolent you can be. I haven't the time to convince you, nor the desire, in fact. Yennefer will do that after the audience.
How many men in your army? 20,000? 30? So why me?
You know why. Because she trusts you.
She trusts me, yes. So tell me why you're looking for her. Doubt it's about making up for all those lost years.
For reasons of state, as always. Enough of this banter. You will agree regardless. If for no other reason than because I shall pay you. More than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more.
Save your generosity for those whose homes your armies have razed. I'll do it for Ciri, not for your gold.
Your motives do not interest me. Only results. Yennefer will tell you the rest. This audience is finished. Mererid! Take him to the sorceress.
This guy burned down his wife's kingdom. Her mother-in-law, technically. Tried to abduct his daughter.
Did the gentleman not understand? Did I not emphasize adequately that one must bow to the Emperor?
Relax, nothing happened.
To the gentleman. But I shall be punished.
How?
Please keep close and bother no one. We've had enough breaches of etiquette for one day.
And it's past blue good. Calm yourself.
I think he'll be understanding.
Do you know who you're talking to, soldier?
Geralt and Emir were once friends. Back at the beginning. But after he assumed the Imperial throne, not so much. Not so much.
Heard of the Vryheid Brigade? Your kind, sir. Non-human.
Once the gentleman is done, he should see me to retrieve his possessions.
Alright, so let's see what Yennefer knows.
Yes? Then transcribe. The true authority in Novigrad is not the city council or the merchants' guild, but the Church of the Eternal Fire and the criminal underworld. At times it is difficult to tell the one from the other. They both display a similar ruthlessness and cynicism that...
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
You know what? I'll write the report myself. You'll need only prepare a clean draft. In triplicate.
And if you didn't scratch your head so often.
What do you mean? Directly out of Nordling tales? Inconceivable.
Geralt, that tunic. You look positively smashing.
Dying to take it off.
I'd consider that a proposition under different circumstances. One I might even take you up on. But we've matters to attend to. Now do you understand why I'm at Emir's court?
Uh-huh. And seems we're in the same boat now. Ciri, she's really back? No chance he's mistaken?
Look, that's more or less what she looks like now. Or so our agents claim. Our little witch has grown into a young lady.
So they're our agents now? My, you've clearly settled in quick.
Geralt, don't twist my words. I know who Emir is. He started this war and its bloodshed. He had my friends killed. But I haven't any other choice. So please, let's not belabor the pros and cons and instead focus on finding Ciri. All right?
Right. Emir said the Wild Hunt's after her. I'd find that hard to believe before what happened yesterday. How did they track us down?
Because of me. You see, I've spent months searching for Ciri, using locating spells, haruspicy, geomancy, anything, really. I knew the Wild Hunt might sense it, perhaps even find me, but I thought I'd tricked them.
Well, guess you were wrong.
I've sensed them on my trail, hunting me, for some time. If not for you and Emir's soldiers, they'd have gotten what they were after. I can't risk another encounter like that. It's time to put away the magic, turn to more traditional methods. To the best tracker I know. You must find her, Geralt. Before the Wild Hunt does.
The Wild Hunt? What could it want from Ciri?
I've no clue, Geralt. Might have written them to ask, but I don't have their address. I know as much as you do. It must be about her blood. Her gift. As for what the Hunt wishes to do with that gift, I'd prefer not to think about it, really.
So where's Ciri been seen, exactly?
In two places. Velen and Novigrad. The trail in Velen is most promising. You should make that your first stop. Ask for a merchant named Hendrik at the inn at the crossroads. One of the Emperor's agents. He should get in touch with you.
That's it? No passwords, secret handshakes?
None. Sorry to spoil your fun. Your boyhood fantasies about the crafts of the trade. All we have in Novigrad are unconfirmed reports, rumors. But there you will have the help of our mutual acquaintance. Triss Merigold. Apparently she's got a cozy flat on the main square.
Sure she'll be delighted to see me. What about you? What will you do?
I shall sail for Skellige. There was a magic explosion there recently, blew half a forest down. I believe this had something to do with Ciri. I'll be in Caer Trold. Join me there once you've learned something.
One thing before we go. Why didn't you contact me? Didn't need me? Didn't even want to see me?
I didn't want to spoil things. I'd heard you and Triss made a great couple.
Yen, I'd lost my memory.
Really? That's your excuse?
Wasn't the first time.
Let's drop it, all right? It's not what you think, or it helped me understand how much I love you. I don't wish to hear it. Any of it.
Guess this means we need to split up again. Not my preference, but I understand. Clock's ticking.
It is indeed. So why don't I teleport you to Velen, get you there at once?
Not gonna happen. I'll go on horseback, as soon as I can get changed.
Have it your way? Oh, and you really look quite dashing in black velvet.
Think so? Maybe I can have some of my armor lined with it. Good luck, Yen.
Same to you. And if you wish to learn what's happened in the world while you and Vesemir roamed the wilderness, talk to Ambassador Varatra. That's him over there. And Geralt, I know it's wartime, but try not to be a hero, all right? Just check those leads and come back to me, in one piece. I shall be waiting. Yes?
I guess that's all she says. Oh, hello. Just tossed a whole bunch of books around. Yeah, that there is the map of the realms, or what's left of them. Mostly there's just the two. Now there are some...
Scars healed nicely.
There are some minor states in the north still left, aside from Redania. But yeah, after 3 wars with Nilfgaard, most of them are gone. Oh, different portrait. Alright, there we go. I'm trying to give these a little bit more time, just so you can pause and read them if you feel like it. Oh no, what's this? From Fringilla Vigo. I believe she is one of the sorceresses who decided to go for Nilfgaard instead of the north, but did so fairly early on, like during the second or first war.
I have no time.
Ambassador Varatra, Yennefer suggested I ask you about current events, the war and so on.
Of course. The Emperor's servants should keep no secrets from each other. If you will, let us approach the map.
Hey, where did those figures come from?
How's the war going? I mean, apart from the fact that Nilfgaard's triumph is imminent.
I assume this to be a private conversation. We've no witnesses, so let's dispense with the propaganda, even that shrouded in irony. Our offensive was going splendidly until winter came. Edirn was in such disarray that we encountered no resistance. We had reached the Pontar before the first snows. Only a weakened Kedwin remained, and Radovid's Redania, which had ignored the rest of the North's pleas for help. We thought they'd sue for peace, perhaps even submit to vassalization. We waited for spring, certain of victory.
Radovid? Submit?
Yes, a vain hope, I agree. Radovid sent no peace envoys, nor did he advance on our positions. Instead, he trudged over the snow-bound Kestrel Mountains and attacked Kedwin, his ally. Took the Kedweni completely by surprise. King Henselt fought on the front line as always, and that is where he died. His soldiers lost the will to fight. They joined Radovid's ranks. And so by spring, instead of 2 weak enemies, we had only one powerful one.
What about Kavir?
Kavir values its neutrality, enough not to lend its armies, or more importantly, even its coin to either side. Returning to the war, this spring there was a massive battle in the marshes of Velen. Massive, yet indecisive. Both sides suffered enormous losses, unprecedented even. Radovid has retreated across the Pontar. He's safe for now, until reinforcements arrive from the south. Then Emperor Emir var Emrys will deal with him once and for all.
Couldn't you just go home? Save everyone a lot of marching? not to mention a few human lives.
I'm afraid the stakes are too high to fold now. We can only go all in.
How do things look in Velen?
As bad as ever, perhaps worse. This land never flowed with milk and honey, and now it flows with blood. Armies have swept through it several times, trampling fields, looting granaries, burning villages. Famine grips the populace.
So how's ruling that earthly paradise going for you?
Not well, to be honest. Our forces are spread thin as it is, and Velen is chiefly swampy forests that are difficult to control. We've had several patrols never return to their camps. Thus, we've temporarily delegated authority in this region to a certain Nordling, a former low-ranking officer in the Temerian army, one Philip Strenger, better known by his nom de guerre, the Bloody Baron. I advise you well. Avoid him.
Any news from Novigrad? Is the free city still free?
Yes, although everyone knows this won't last. Radovid is in Oxenfurt, and the Emperor is here in Vizima, at Novigrad's doorstep, both. And both require coin and ships. Novigrad can provide these. Which is why the mood in the city is rather, well, on edge.
Meaning?
How do men deal with fear? They seek reassurance and scapegoats. The Church of the Eternal Fire understands this perfectly, and so it promises to improve the lives of its flock by pointing out the guilty. Who started the war? Who profits from it? Why, it's obvious. Mages, elves, dwarves, in a word, any and all deviants. I've been stationed in Novigrad for 13 years. First as a consul, then as ambassador. I've seen a great deal. Cruelty, cynicism, greed. But what is happening there now concerns me greatly.
What's new in Skellige?
Nothing. The islanders pride themselves on that, don't they? Doing everything according to tradition, as their forefathers did. And like their forefathers, they quarrel with each other, pillage, occasionally attack our transports. This is cumbersome, but nothing more. Skellige has always been a footnote to history, and so it shall remain.
Sound awfully confident. What if King Bran manages to unite the Jarls? Lead all the clans against your fleet?
King Bran is a feeble old man. From what I know, he barely remembers the names of his own vassals. Uniting all might prove difficult.
Thanks for your help.
Think nothing of it. May the great sun light your path.
All right. So that's the exposition you need about the state of the world and what's going on in it. Skips over a whole bunch of history, a whole bunch of books worth, 2 games, mostly just 1 game. First game didn't really do much politically. Just sort of set things up, really. But yeah, if you want additional exposition, you can read all of these books that I'm finding and opening up. And yeah, Novigrad has been a population center of the north for a long time. City of 30,000 souls.
How might I serve the gentleman?
By returning my things.
Citrus and cloves. The fragrance will keep the gentleman's robes fresh somewhat longer.
Thanks, bunches.
The Emperor is not known for his patience. He wants his daughter back safe and sound, as soon as possible.
Yeah, mentioned something of the sort. So long.
Whether she'll want to be back safe and sound, now that is another matter entirely. Got my weapons equipment back here. Everything in its place. And yes, just by hitting quick sort, And get rid of all those asterisks that bother me. Oh, hey, there's an exclamation point here. Oh, I see.
Wouldn't mind a few rounds of cards.
Well then. Got a whole bunch of cards here. Looks like we can put Zoltan in, if I can find the right card to remove. Poor infantry. Oh, damn it, I pressed the wrong button. Well, we're doing this. Only need one impenetrable fog here. Although all of that siege stuff might be good. And oh hey, we've got the one dummy. But let's see what we should play here first. Let's keep things strong and in the front row here. That way if he plays... oh! It's a hero card. Yeah, hero cards have the sort of gold, bronze-ish corner there. And the big thing about them is that no other card affects them. For better and for worse. Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing I can do immediately to take care of that. But if I play this ballista, I will win the round. And we'll get an extra card. Seem to like melee units, so let's just freeze up the battlefield. Oh. With another hero card. So yes, no other card affects hero cards, which means that if he had played Letho in the front row, that would not have affected the frost. Or it would not have been affected by the frost. And yeah, let's just clear the frost off the battlefield. Might need to use front row fighters. Oh. Well then. So yes, hero cards are allowed to affect other cards and do sometimes have special abilities. But at this point, I think... I spent the dummy too soon. Could have grabbed that card and got myself another couple cards. This one is not really going too well for me. Especially not with that being played out, but I do have a card for that. And, oh that's right, I can pull it out of my graveyard. Get another couple cards that way. Oh, doubling down on the middle row, are we? Well, impenetrable fog will turn that 20 into a 2. Along with that one. Nice. And I've got a bunch of back row units instead. Oh. I could actually win this. I did not expect that. Nice. Alright, for that I got another 10 crowns and a Foltest. That is the commander card. There are 4 types of commander card for each army. Each one has a different special ability that you can use instead of playing a card. Looks like we're in the throne room here. I believe the throne room actually featured in the first game. Not sure if it looked quite like this, but it's definitely similar. Looks like they're breaking up the Temerian icon there. That's what they're doing with that. And yep, from here we can go to the one destination outside of White Orchard that we can reach. And for that matter, we can also take a good look at this huge map that they put us on.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
And as you may have noticed, Velen and Novigrad are on the same map. So while the Novigrad section is sort of restricted at the moment, we will not need to change maps and go through this long loading screen in order to get there. Plus, it's not really that well blocked off. You'll see. You'll see what I mean. But for now, we'll pass under the hanging tree, which, you know, earned its name. Especially these days. A lot more new corpses than old right now. Anyway, we're past the hour mark. We've just done a whole bunch of plot stuff, and we are immediately beset by wild dogs. I think I'll just go take care of them, and then end this video. Wild dogs are just as difficult as wolves to deal with. Damn it. Really good at dodging out of the way. Man, took a really big bite out of my health. But that's it. So I'm just gonna grab some dog tallow off their corpses, maybe some raw meat. And then, well, we'll see you next time.